Vicki from Minerva. In today's video I've got 3 brand new patterns to share with you from Atelier Jupe, which is a fabulous indie sewing pattern company. We stock their whole range of patterns here at Minerva. There are some really fantastic designs, they're designed for women's wear, and the 3 new patterns that they've brought out this spring are absolutely gorgeous. So we have a pair of trousers called the Frankie Trousers, a jacket called the Grace jacket, and a wrap dress called the Florence dress. So I've got all 3 patterns to talk through with you today, and I've picked 2 fabrics for each pattern to give you some ideas on the sorts of fabrics that you could use for each, just to give you some ideas, you know, on what you can make with these patterns. So let's jump straight to it. So the first pattern I'm going to share with you is the Frankie Trousers. Now these are a really great, I see these as a casual pair of trousers you could wear all the time, and they look fantastic as they are on the pattern envelope here. We'll insert some images as usual so you can see the details, and they look fantastic with the rolled up hems. Yeah, they have patch pockets on the back, a zip fly fastening, and yeah, they're just a classic pair of trousers really, but I love the cut of them and how they fit the model there. Now fabrics they're suggesting for this pattern are medium weight fabrics, so cotton, denim, linen, tencel, that sort of thing. I've got 2 different fabrics to share with you today that will both give completely different looks to these trousers. One of them I was very inspired by the version on the envelope here, and the other I've gone for a denim because I think you could easily create a pair of trousers that look like jeans as opposed to, you know, sort of trousers in a different type of fabric. So let's have a look at the fabrics now. So the first one is the one where I was totally inspired by the version on the envelope, and this is our rusty coloured stretch cotton twill. Now the pattern doesn't call for a stretch fabric, and this one is a stretch. So now we do have 100% cotton twills, so if you prefer to make it just as it says on the pattern, you know, we have the fabric for that. But this one I thought would make the most comfortable pair of trousers ever. It has 20% stretch across the width and there's no stretch down the length. So it's just that little bit of wiggle room, you know, it's a stretch woven fabric, not a stretch knit, you know, they're not to be confused. So what a fabric like this does is it just gives a little bit of wiggle room. Now if you were between 2 sizes and you were going for a stretch fabric like this, you might want to go for the slightly smaller size, because that added bit of stretch, you know, will give you that wiggle room and, you know, just more room to move in the trousers. But yeah, I love wearing a stretch woven for bottoms because they're just so comfortable, and I think once you start wearing stretch trousers, you know, it's hard to go back from. So I think that would be a really good choice. You can see the twill weave in this fabric, which is really lovely. It's a good weight, but it's still nice and soft, so it's going to be comfortable to wear. And as you can see, this colour I was inspired by the pattern, the version they've sewn on the envelope there, but we do this fabric in a whole range of colours. It's one of our core ranges, so yeah, I'm sure there'll be a colour to suit everyone. And then the next fabric I've gone for, this is a really gorgeous stone washed denim fabric. There we are. So it's another of our core ranges, and this is one of our most popular denim fabrics that we sell here at Minerva. We've stocked it for years and years and years, and it's a stone washed denim, so it's very, very soft, but it still does have a good weight to it. So I thought that would be the perfect combination for these trousers that are, you know, a casual, comfortable fit. I didn't think you'd want a denim that was, you know, too stiff or too structured, because I don't think they'd be then, you know, as comfortable to wear. Whereas something like this, it's going to give it, you know, a casual feel. It will work really well on the turn-ups at the bottom, but it's still heavy and structured enough, you know, to hold all those details and look like a proper pair of jeans, you know. So yeah, this one is the dark blue shade, which I think is a really lovely colour, a nice mid blue, but it also comes in lighter shades of blue, a darker indigo, and a charcoal black colour as well. So the next pattern, we go on to the Grace jacket. Now I think this is a really lovely jacket for spring and summer. It's got some really lovely details. I love the pockets that it has on the front with the little flaps on there. It has a zip up fastening with pressed stud fastening, popper fastenings as well, and the collar detail is really interesting. I love how they've styled it on the envelope where it has the turn up, but you know, they've turned up the sleeves, and it has like a dropped shoulder with the sleeve, the bottom of the sleeve sort of section that's added onto that, and I think that's what gives the pattern, you know, quite a slouchy, casual sort of look. So I think, you know, to team this with the trousers would make a really lovely outfit, you know, with just a simple t-shirt underneath. I think they'd work really well together. Yes, so I think on this sort of pattern, so the fabrics that it's recommending are pretty much the same as the trousers. So we've got cotton, denim and linen. So, you know, I think with this being a spring to a summer kind of jacket, as opposed to a, you know, a winter coat, you would want something not too heavy, and you know, they're not suggesting things like wool or anything, you know, super warm like that. So the fabrics I've gone for a cotton twill and a linen fabric, but they're quite specific, the ones I've gone for. So this cotton twill, I think this will create a look very similar to the version they've made up on the envelope. And I just had to include this colour because this is one of my favourite colours. It's a really deep, rich, petrol-y teal colour. I think that would be really, you know, it would add a splash of colour to your spring and summer wardrobe, but it's still, you know, deep and rich enough, and it will go with lots and lots of things. But it's just a little bit different, you know, to a black or a navy jacket, isn't it? So I think that's a really gorgeous colour. So this is our 100% cotton twill fabric. Perfect weight for a jacket like this. This is actually the fabric that if you wanted to sew the trousers in just a regular cotton twill with no stretch, this is the one that I would recommend that you go for. Again, this is another of our our core ranges here at Minerva, so it comes in a whole range of colours. But yeah, it's just such a beautiful cotton twill is this one. You can feel the quality of it when you have it in your hands. It's really lovely, and I think it's soft and malleable enough to make a comfortable jacket, but it's got enough structure and weight to it, you know, to make it a proper jacket and not, you know, not too lightweight and flimsy. Now the next fabric I've got is 100% linen fabric, and I went for our heavy stone wash linen, and this linen, when you feel it, you know, it really has a good weight to it. So that, I think that would make it ideal for a jacket like this. I think if you went for, you know, just a medium weight linen, it's going to make a very lightweight jacket, which, you know, there's nothing wrong with that. It's just to make a, you know, a proper jacket, I thought this heavyweight linen would be the perfect choice for it. And what I love about this linen is its texture. It's so textured with this, you know, the stone washed finish that it has. You can really see the slubs in the linen, and it has you know, even for such a heavy fabric, it has a lovely amount of softness and drape as well. I made a jacket in this probably a couple of years ago now. It's a different style jacket. It was more of a long length one, but you know, in the core essentials is still there, and it made a fantastic jacket. It was really lovely to sew. Because it's quite loosely woven, it does fray quite a bit, so I would recommend overlocking or, you know, zigzagging your edges with it, and doing that before you pre-wash as well. But the texture that loose weave gives you is just fabulous. If you love linen, I think you'll love this one. The other thing with this linen that's really fantastic, and again I think it comes from the fact that it's stone washed, and because it's so textured and loosely woven, it doesn't actually crease that much. You know, it still creases a bit because it's 100% linen, but you know, I've just crushed that up in my hand there, and you can see even at that, it's really not creased that much. So for a jacket that's going to get lots and lots of wear, hopefully, you know, every day, this is a perfect choice. And again, this is another of our core ranges, so we stock this in a whole range of colours. I used the charcoal grey colour for my jacket, which is a really beautiful colour. But yeah, I chose this one today because it reminded me a little bit of the colour that they've used in the fabric on the envelope, and I thought that would be a really pretty colour for a spring-summer jacket. So the third and last pattern I've got to share with you today, this is a real beauty. This is the Florence wrap dress, and I love a wrap dress anyway. Wrap dresses always call to me. I think they're lovely and comfortable to wear, and you know, the getting a good fit on them is a little bit easier than some other styles of dresses, because you know, if it's ever so slightly, I guess, you know, too small, you know, you would just wrap it around you slightly less, and if it came up a touch big, you just wrap it around a little bit more, you know, so it's just a little bit more forgiving on the fit. Now the details on this pattern, so it has a beautiful like shirt collar detail, and it's a wrap over front, so obviously that creates a V neckline. It has a beautiful detail on the end of the sleeve, which I really think suits you know, the shirt sort of style collar vibes that it has. And then other than that, it's very simple really, you know, a wrap over, and it ties with a belt at the waist, which is what draws it in and gives it shape. Now fabrics for this is recommending obviously different fabrics to the other two patterns, which were quite similar. So this one is recommending light to medium weight fabrics like viscose, cotton, tencel, linen and double gauze. So you've got quite a bit of scope there for this pattern, and for me though, I think you want something with quite a bit of drape, because the way that that belt cinches it in at the waist, you want the fabric to be able to gather in and hang really nicely. And yeah, so the fabrics I've gone for, so my plain option for this one, I've gone for a print and a plain this time. So the plain option is our ocean washed crepe fabric, and this is a stretch woven crepe. So it's quite a new range, this, at Minerva. We've only added it, I think it was this year or the end of last year, and we were so excited when we found this base cloth. We've been on the hunt for something like this for quite a long time, but this sort of fabric is really hard to come by. And what is special about this fabric, so it's a polyester, but it has a really lovely handle to it, and it has a fantastic price point as well. It's a really affordable fabric. So, you know, if you are planning on making a version in, you know, a more expensive fabric, and, you know, it's the first time you're making this pattern, you know, something like this, I see this as a great fabric for making a wearable toile as well, because the price point is so good, and it's such a lovely fabric that, you know, you'll want to wear this, you know, you'll want to finish your toile and actually make it up into a wearable toile that you'll love to wear. And again, what makes this fabric special is its texture. So it has quite an unusual fabric texture for a crepe. So it's not quite your traditional crepe, what you might think of, but it has this washed, almost like lived in, worn kind of look. If you think of like a washed satin, or a washed linen, that kind of effect, it has that, but on this super soft, very drapey, very fluid crepe fabric. So hopefully that's coming across on screen. It is quite a subtle texture, but when you see it in real life, it really makes a difference. And it takes it from being, you know, just a plain, completely solid crepe fabric to something that has character and interest. And I do think a texture like this as well can be quite forgiving. So, you know, if there's any parts of your garment that aren't sewn absolutely perfectly, you know, it can help disguise that a little bit. This colour I think is super, super pretty. You know, it's this sort of very warm, rusty colour. But again, this is one of our core ranges, and it comes in a really good colour range, does this one. So lots and lots of different colours to choose from. And you know, when you can see that drape in the fabric, you know, you can imagine how that's going to gather in at the waist, and it's just going to hang absolutely beautifully. You certainly wouldn't need to line this fabric, you know, it's got a good weight to it, and for a dress like this, you know, you wouldn't need to worry about lining. So yeah, I think that's a fantastic choice for this pattern. And then the next fabric, you know, when I saw this pattern, I instantly thought of our Minerva exclusive viscose challis fabrics, and I chose this absolutely gorgeous print. This absolutely screams spring and summer to me. This design is called Living Stream, and I just love the colours in it. It's a very abstract, sort of florally come leaf sort of print design. Like I said, very abstract, so you wouldn't need to worry about pattern matching this at all. And I just think in a wrap dress like this, it would be absolutely stunning for spring and summer. Perfect fabric choice. So that's all the 3 patterns and all the fabrics I wanted to share with you today. So I hope you found that inspiring. I absolutely love these 3 patterns. Atelier Jupe always do really good patterns for women's wear, but I think these latest 3 are particularly good. I can see all 3 of them being really popular. I really enjoyed picking out these fabrics for you today. I hope you enjoyed my choices and found them inspiring. So let me know in the comments, you know, have any of these fabrics inspired you to give these patterns a go? Have you sewn with any of these before? Do you plan on making one of these patterns? Let me know in the comments. I'd love to hear from you. As always in all our videos, below this we will tag all the products on Minerva, so you'll be able to see, you know, you'll be able to easily access the 3 different patterns and all the fabrics I've spoke about, and any of them that come in different colours, which is most of them today. If you click on those links, you'll be able to see the full colour range on Minerva. And as always, the great thing on Minerva website, you'll be able to see when other makers have shared projects that they've made in these fabrics or these patterns. If they've tagged them in their posts, you'll be able to see them on the product pages, and it's always just, it's so inspiring to be able to see all different people from, you know, literally all over the world, you know, see what they've been making with them, you know, to be able to see that same pattern on different people of all different shapes and sizes, ages, you know, made in different fabrics. People of different sewing abilities as well. You know, people are really generous in sharing their sewing experiences and their sewing knowledge, so there's always so many tips and you know, ideas to, you know, to help you in your sewing journey and just, you know, leave you feeling inspired to start your next project. So yeah, all that information will be tagged below. If you enjoyed this video, please do give us a like and a follow. We'd really appreciate it. We really enjoy creating these videos for you, and it's really fun to be able to put these patterns and fabric combinations together. So please do give us a like and a comment, you know, if you've enjoyed this video. So thanks very much for watching today. Don't forget you can save 10% off absolutely everything I spoke about in today's video and everything else on the Minerva website if you join the Minerva Craft Club. I'll link to that below, but you can save a full 10% off everything you purchase for 12 months. It's a, you know, a fantastic offer, and as always at Minerva we offer free worldwide delivery options all around the year. So thanks very much for watching today, and I'll look forward to seeing you again next time.